They don't feel.
They don't feel, and so in that sense, in some kinds of music, we're being numbed. But in other ways, I think it's wonderful that there's this globalization of music, and people are sharing all kinds of music.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, let me get you another question here. Now, that breakthrough, can you elaborate more about your passage from the artisan to the artist that inspired your interest in music and spirituality? What haven't we touched on yet?
Well, what I recall is I had been rehearsing with my mentor, and she had repeatedly stopped me and said, "That's not it. That's not what we agreed upon." And so she tried to get me away from the notation on the page, and she said, "Well, let's look up the title of this piece," and it was called Wagenseil, which means wagon wheel. And she asked me what I thought of the opening with the piano, and I said, "It sounds like a procession." So I made up the story of King Wagon Wheel, who had a wagon wheel instead of a peg for a leg. Now, before the story sounds too crazy, she started playing, asked me to march in time to the music, and then my part came in. And this time I soared into the music.
Is it because what you were feeling inside from that marching?
It was the marching. I was moving along with the melody. Marching, embodying the music, had taken me into the spirit of the music. Mm-hmm. And then my part just came in. It was the music. Mm-hmm. You know, it wasn't me trying to read all of the symbols on the page. It was me experiencing the music from inside.
So kind of a sense of oneness, or here and now.
Yes, this
meditation.
Connection. It was like being an organism, just growing through the music. It was similar to being an actor who's so involved in their part that they actually become the character that they're playing.
Well, because you've played in orchestras in Israel and Italy, what does it feel like to be part of an orchestra? Do you get that sense of oneness when you're playing with an orchestra as well?
Well, I think it's up to the individual musician, but whenever I was playing music, that was my entire focus. You can walk out of the rehearsal or the performance and you can think about other things, but during the concert, yes, that was my exclusive focus.
Well, they talk about sports being like a team sport, like football or something. So what I'm hearing is the orchestra, it's really a team.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's a team effort, and yet individually each musician must rely on trusting in themselves. And it just so happens that the sense of pulse and the sense of beat is universal to us all. So it all lines up together. So it's a combination.
Well, and I've had the good fortune to see Sir George Solti conduct the Chicago Symphony Orchestra, and then I've heard other good conductors, but he could just seem to just get that much more out of the orchestra. Can you comment about that?
Well, a conductor is a wonderful example of the embodiment of the music. Mm-hmm. And it's very important for people to realize when you listen to the music, you should similarly embody the music within yourself.
Well, one thing I took away from seeing Sir George Solti conduct was his energy, his enthusiasm, his love, his joy. And it's infectious. That went to the musicians in the orchestra and to the people in the audience. And even now, when I listen to a CD in which he conducted, it's like it just sings.
When a conductor embraces the music and the entire environment of the music, they can bring everything to a wholly new level. Some people say that music is the religion of our times.
Okay, I agree. Well, and if you go back, I mean, I remember a few years ago I was at a wedding, and it was a Catholic church done in Latin, and they were playing like these chants, and I go, oh my God, I've got it. I've got this at home, and I never realized it came from Catholicism. So. Good. Any prediction where you see music going, or where you would like to see music go?
Well, where I would like to see music go is it has so many wonderful advantages in bringing us to these spiritual states, and I'd like to see it become a discipline, a spiritual discipline, just like the Zen arts. I'd like to see us utilizing music for all of the music takes us to the spiritual. It helps us explore the spiritual. I'd like to be able to take what we can learn from the spiritual using music as the teacher to teach us more how to live our lives and how to bring the spiritual through the music into growing other activities in our lives. In a way, the art of living. And this is possible. We can learn from music and from the spiritual passing through music. We can take principles out of it and learn how to live by them.
And what musicians have influenced you, and how have these musicians helped you develop as a person? Any?
Well, that's a very interesting question. I would have to say that the musician who made the greatest impact on my life is Daphne Raphael, who is a music healer living in Israel. And
did you have the opportunity to meet him?
Oh, it's a she.
Oh, she.
She.
Yeah. Did you? Yes,
she is the one who helped me make my artistic breakthrough.
Oh, wow.
And I'm forever indebted to her work with me, because it brought to the fore my life passion and my life mission to not only to play music, but to share the transcendent qualities of music with others.
And have you had transcendent experiences since that one with your inspiration?
Yes, I remember one in particular. I took the focusing powers of music, and one day meditating while living in Trieste, Italy, on some swans, I had a peak experience that was quite amazing. Objects before me, flowers, trees, my vision changed, and I was actually seeing them in their unified state, not as objects, but as unified, and quite amazing experience.
Well, and even just hearing you recall it, it just helps my state. We've got less than a minute. How about you use this time just to emphasize one or 2 points before we go? Whatever you want to talk about, Randy.
Well, I invite people to come and attend my workshop at the Infinity Foundation in January, to visit my my website. But most importantly, to come and experience these values that we can find out and in and through musical experience.
Yeah, and you're going to help facilitate that.
I'm going to facilitate working with music.
Just like your initial teacher facilitated with you.
That would be my greatest hope.
All right,
yes.
we've got to wrap it up. So for more information about Randall Ruback, Infinity Foundation InnerQuest, stay tuned to the credits at the end. Until next time, we wish you good health, good spirits, and good fortune. Thank you, Randy.
For more information about this show, our guests, Infinity Foundation, or any of our other programs, please visit our website, infinityfoundation.org, or call us at 847-831-8828.